This is component 3 mock, mock A1, and we're up to the essay question, question 7. Right, with these essay questions you are going to get something new, and in this case it's telling you about Japanese restaurants and something that you might not know a lot about, and might give you some data or some information. But in your mind you are looking for the areas of your knowledge that are going to be relevant to the question. So, and it's going to be possibly 3 areas, maybe covering different areas of the specification. So let's see what we got here. We have got 2 toxins. We have got the pufferfish producing tetrodotoxin. You might not have heard of that unless you've watched The Simpsons. And these other things, cone shells producing another one, where is it? W-conotoxin. And both can cause paralysis. Okay. So now we actually get to the task that you have to do, and it says using your knowledge. That's going to come from your notes, that's what you've learned. And then the 2 areas that it wants you to talk about have the nerve impulse and synaptic transmission. So those are 2 areas of biology that you're going to include in detail in this essay. And then explain how normal functioning is altered by these 2 poisons. So what we want is, this is how a nerve impulse works. This is how the pufferfish tetrodotoxin affects the nerve impulse to cause paralysis. Then this is how synaptic transmission works, and this is how the cone shells with their W-conotoxin cause paralysis. So I'm not going to write the essay, I'm just going to show you that picture, and essentially the biology that you're including is all on here. So talk about resting potential, the depolarization, the action potential, the repolarization, hyperpolarization. You could mention the voltages, the gates, the pumps, the leakiness of the axon, the overshoot, all or nothing response, thresholds. So all of that is your biology, that is using your knowledge of the nerve impulse. And then you can suggest that tetrodotoxin blocks the voltage-gated sodium ion channels. So we have got these sodium gates on this diagram are closed to start with, and then they open. If that doesn't happen, we don't get the influx of sodium, so we don't get the action potential, and so on. We don't get depolarization. So that's that half of the essay. And then using your knowledge of synaptic transmission. Well, here's another diagram. I'm not going to write it all out, but you recognise the picture of the synapse, and you could describe the synapse. You could use all the right technical words, things like presynaptic membrane, synaptic cleft, postsynaptic membrane. So you could use those correct terms, and then this other half of the diagram is just running through how the synapse operates. There were quite a few errors in the essay with this biology. Things like the vesicle containing the neurotransmitter, it fuses with the presynaptic membrane and releases the transmitter by exocytosis. So using the right words from your notes. And things like binding to receptors, not joining or fusing or reacting, it's binding. So try and get this biology straight. And then the last little bit is going, well, okay, what does this toxin actually do? Prevents CO2 transport. It doesn't actually say which CO2 transport it prevents, but either the transport out of the presynaptic membrane or the transport in. But if you go, right, well that bit doesn't happen, and so you can say that these later steps won't happen, and so the impulse won't reach the postsynaptic membrane and the postsynaptic neuron, and so that could lead to a muscle, and so the muscle won't contract. That sort of thing. That's where the paralysis occurs. So, in summary, with these essays, you're looking to see where can I include areas of biology that I know and make them relevant to the question. And I don't really need to make anything up. It's all coming from my notes, and that's 9 marks.